going to do a video here with a little epiphany that I just received. Basically, in this life, we see many movies, we watch TV, we read poetry, books, things like that. Bottom line is we really like stories because stories give us view into lives and things of that sort. And well, even our lives are stories. And the whole point is, we're called to judge everything. We're called to discern everything. Is that foolish? Is that wise? Or is it not? Is that good or is it bad? We're supposed to know the difference. The devil has tried to erase that line, and God says no. You're supposed to walk in discernment. You're supposed to be able to discern the difference. And basically, what people do when they're watching these reality television shows and things of that sort, movies and things, they sit there like they're God on the throne watching these people live out their lives. So if you're watching a James Bond movie, you're sitting on the throne, you're probably sitting in a chair and you're watching James Bond live his life, and then you're judging him with your every word. Oh man, he's such an idiot. Go left, go right. I'm not saying it's wrong to have an opinion like go left, go right. Oh dang, he shouldn't have did that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you step over that and you start to become judgmental, as we like to say. With the word judge, we misuse that word. People all the time who love to sin and act like they're still in Christ will always say, don't judge me, you can't judge me, only God can judge me. And the truth is, only God can condemn you. But the truth is, even He will not. He says, even I will not judge you on that day. He says, you will be condemned, He says, by what you did. So you judge yourself. You judge yourself because God has put that judgment into your hand. He put life and death into you, and you get to choose. If you choose life, then you'll live the life that brings life. And if you choose death, you'll live the life that brings death. And don't get it twisted. We will be able to see what type of life you're living, because the tree is known by its fruits, and we're called to discern everything, even you. So if you're living in sin and you think that people don't know, and you think that we can't judge you, oh yes, we can discern you. We can discern where you're at. If you make sin Lord of your life, then sin is your master, and condemnation is what you'll receive. But that's really not the point of me making this. This is a sharp message, though. What I wanted to say was this revelation I got while watching a movie that inspired me with love and peace and joy. It made me almost, it gave me a revelation of how the cross, the message of the cross, is offensive. Because in happiness and bliss and feelings of good, feelings of peace, we tend to feel we don't need the cross. We don't need Jesus. Let's say if I'm a Japanese guy and I'm living a happy Japanese life, who is this Jesus that is saying that all of my ancestors lived in sin and died in sin and aren't in heaven? If I'm an African, who am I to say, who is this Jesus who's supposed to be Lord of my life, who says I must die to myself to receive what He has, when all my ancestors have given me everything that I have, yada yada yada, and now He's telling me my ancestors are living in sin, and I'm going to die in sin, and they died in sin? Who is this Jesus? What is this message that's so offensive? And I realize in happiness, people don't see the need of it. They don't see the need of Jesus versus a guy who was at the bottom, crushed, looking out of a little hole, hoping that maybe he himself might be spared what his ancestors were not spared, that is the situation at hand. It is that those who thought they were living happy lives of rebellion were actually living deceptions And in hell, condemnation awaits every sinner. You're going to hell when you're mad. You're going to hell when you're happy. So the truth is apart from emotions. And what I find is that people would rather embrace good emotions. They want to feel good, despite they don't want to be good. They want to feel like they're in the truth. They don't want to be. They don't want to know that they're in the truth. And so that is the difference between those who embrace foolishness and wisdom, true wisdom. A fool claims wisdom, such as a black Hebrew Israelite, as I call them, black Hebrew Satanite. They might speak of things that are considered wise, like Jesus' real name is Yeshua, but that wisdom is foolishness. That very wisdom is foolishness compared to true wisdom, godly wisdom, saving wisdom that says, whether you call him Isa, Jesus, Yeshua, or Jesus, you want to know him. You want to know him. You don't just want to call him some name. You want to know that he's answering what you have to say, even if you called him Emmanuel. You want to know that whatever you're calling this guy, this Messiah, you want to know that he's going to answer you and that you have his salvation. So there's a way that seems right that leads to death. There's a wisdom of men that is not the wisdom, that does not even match the wisdom of God. The wisdom of God makes it seem foolish. And I find that many on this earth hate wisdom. And this is the revelation. This is the warning. That those who hate wisdom will hate truth. If you hate wisdom, you will hate truth. Because to know the truth, it takes wisdom. You have to grow in wisdom. And if you refuse wisdom, you're going to hate truth. And those who hate truth, if you hate the truth, you're going to really hate God. You're going to hate God. You can say, I love God, but I hate truth. Well, eventually, because you hate truth, you're going to hate God. Just like if you say, well, I hate wisdom, but I love truth. Well, if you hate wisdom, you're eventually going to hate the truth. You're going to embrace yourself with folly. And if you hate the truth, you're going to embrace yourself with lies. And if you embrace yourself with lies, you won't have God. And if you embrace yourself with folly, you won't have truth. And those who hate God will do evil. Because you say, well, I hate God, but I don't want to do evil. Well, if you hate God, you're doing evil, and you're going to do evil. And those who do evil will burn in hell. They will be condemned. And you say, I don't want to be condemned, I don't want to go to hell, but I want to do evil. Well, those who do evil are going to do the things that are going to guarantee you a trip to get hell, even forever. And those who are fearful of this eternal hell, let me tell you a little something that you are constantly forgetting. God is eternal, everlasting, and he made you in his likeness. You are not what you think you are. Okay? You have power and authority, and you are perverting it beyond what you could even imagine. Because God is more holy than you could even imagine. And when you stand before him, it will make sense how holy he is and what great gift you had if you should choose to die in your sin. But let me tell you this. Are gorillas going to hell? Are dogs going to hell? Are birds going to hell? Does the gospel have to be preached to the worms, to the caterpillars? Why are you going to hell? Why aren't they? Because there is a right way. A possibility for a wrong way is there because he is wisdom. Because wisdom is how he made everything. Foolishness is possible. Do know that. In order for light to shine, there must be a platform of darkness. In order for good to exist, there must be options for bad. In order for love to be expressed, there must be a venue for selfishness. So know the truth of this stencil. Know the truth of this stencil of what we call existence. Do not be afraid to preach the gospel to every living creature. Do not be afraid to preach the gospel to every living creature. Do not be afraid. Every man with the breath of life, with true life, with a soul, body, and spirit, preach the gospel to them and give them the chance to choose what otherwise they will never have, ever. Be blessed and be encouraged in doing this. And if you really find this to be something hard to really put into action, know at least this: you're called to do something yourself specifically. Find out what that is and do your part, and help others to do theirs.